VanAire. People.
20 years.
2002.
1996.
98.
97.
96.
Process.
Things are done on purpose, for a reason.
They see us as the industry leader. They look to us for solutions.
Progress.
We want to be the best at what we do.
Customers in every continent, product in every ocean. Heck, we even got product in space now. This little company that started in a two-car garage in Gladstone, Michigan, now has customers throughout this globe.
VanAire makes valve automation hardware and also dissolved air flotation tanks. Valve automation hardware is all about a linkage kit that goes between a valve and an actuator. We don't make the valves, we don't make the actuators, but we make the parts that join the two of them together. Dissolved air flotation is our wastewater department. That department really helps out industries that use a lot of water.
We specialize in manufacturing DAFs, which is a dissolved air flotation equipment, which we separate that total suspended solids in the water to make it clean to go out to the city.
VanAire started in the founder's garage.
Dick Van was the founder of VanAire. He worked for a local valve and actuator distributor for about 17 years. He realized that there was a problem in this industry. He could not get a consistent quality mounting kit to mount an actuator to the valve.
Kind of like your car. The actuator would be like the motor of the car, and the valve would be like the transmission.
He saw a need in the industry for that. A lot of the valve manufacturers were going out with napkin drawings to job shops to get linkage kits made. Dick knew that that wasn't right because he was in that industry.
So basically one day he said, I am an engineer, I can do this myself. So he started designing and making brackets for his current employer out of his two-car garage. A year later, his employers said to him, Dick, we are not a manufacturer, we're a distributor. We're not going to continue making brackets. And Dick said, fine, I'll buy this business from you. And he did, and still making it out of his garage. And then the volume got larger and larger. So in 1995, that's when VanAire officially opened.
Named the company VanAire, partially because of his last name, partially because he was a pilot.
He quickly outgrew his garage.
Not too long after that, we moved to an incubator building in the Gladstone Industrial Park. We rented a portion of that building.
I was employed in 1996 out of this 1,000 square foot building.
I came aboard shortly after that, about a year, in 1997. We were very much an 8-person show. Right off the bat, it was pretty intense as far as the amount of people making parts and the amount of parts we were trying to make, and our processes were pretty slow. Eventually, we rented the entire building. We grew out of that in '99, started building the building that we're currently in now. We moved over here in the spring of 2000. The very first machine that was on the shop floor was sitting right over there. I remember it very well, brand new machine. It's the only thing in the building. I parked my pickup truck right next to it, and I ran parts. It was so cold in here in January because there was no heat. The coolant would actually freeze in the tank. I think it was 2003, I needed to add on to the building again, so we added on to the back half of it, making us a 45,000 square foot building that we're currently in today.
Dick was quite a unique guy.
His presence was definitely felt when he came into a room.
So everyone told me he was a big guy, and I didn't realize how large he was.
His personality was just as big, and it could be seen whether he was talking to somebody on the floor who just started at VanAire or to the governor.
I remember one of the first weeks I was here, they had just built one of the DAF systems that we make in our wastewater department, and he walked out in a big wetsuit. Big 6'8" guy in a black wetsuit. He was swimming in a DAF. I don't know if he was checking for leaks or what he was doing at that time, but I was like, he really cares what he's doing. I mean, he's getting right in here doing all the stuff where you can have other people do it. And I mean, that was something he always did.
And he was just a very knowledgeable person, but also very inquisitive as well, and wanted to learn more about people and processes and what was important to them. He had this amazing hearty laugh. He just did a really good job of captivating his audience. He was definitely a salesman and taught us a lot throughout the years, just about people, trusting ourselves.
I'll try not to get emotional.
So in 2008, Dick VanAire, the founder of our company, passed away unexpectedly.
He wants me to talk about Dick dying. But I said, I don't know if I can do that without getting emotional, but I'll try.
It was a tough time for everybody, and again, it was where do we go from here? He was such a big presence, and it was his vision. So I'm proud to carry it on today.
It shook us to the core. Sure, I lost a boss, but he was more of a friend, more of a mentor than a boss. He taught me everything I needed to know in this business. It was a hard day. It was a hard day.
It was a horrible day. It took a while for us to kind of regroup and figure things out after he passed. I would say after his passing that we became a stronger company. We had more people that took on more roles and just kind of found their own place at VanAire rather than looking to Dick all the time for answers.
It was rough because he was a really nice guy. My question was basically what's going to happen to VanAire.
When he passed, Dick's wife was then the owner of the company, and she appointed Bill VanAire, who is Dick's brother, to then be our CEO.
Bill came in with a financial background, which is what we needed at the time.
Bill did a lot of great things here pretty quickly. I mean, he was kind of stepped into a mess. I knew we had debt, but I didn't know how much debt. When you find out that you're upside down in debt, that's a little scary. It was for all of us. We did spending freezes. We had the only layoff that we've ever had. All in one day.
But those cuts were needed to make sure that we were financially stable. And today, with Bill's commitment to the financial side of things, we are literally debt-free.
I think the most defining moment, other than when VanAire was formed by Dick VanAire with all of his innovation, was when VanAire became debt-free, which allowed more autonomy to problem solve and upgrade equipment.
Being debt-free is something I like to brag about nowadays. If we can't afford it in cash, then we're doing something wrong again, right?
We went from financial strain to financial freedom, which allowed us to get where we are today.
We came together as a team. We really did. And we formed this team that can do anything. And we turned this company around.
When VanAire became debt-free, it allowed VanAire to purchase newer, faster machinery.
We have 29 CNC machines, anywhere from CNC saws, lathes, mills, presses, burn tables, robotic welding. We got somewhere around 90 employees, 45,000 square feet. We have one clunky old 2006 pickup truck. That was Dick's. A little rough.
When I started at VanAire, we were cutting our raw material out on a plasma table. Through the years, we've upgraded to CO2 lasers. Now we've upgraded to a fiber optic laser, which cuts even 20 times faster than the CO2 laser.
A lot of the technology we brought in helped alleviate workload, and then we brought in robots, and then in the office we brought in different software. VA Works Live is the name of the software we developed internally for our customers to use. They made it web-based, and now our customers can pick valves and actuators and get kits and prices in a matter of seconds and designs in seconds to a couple minutes.
We have a dedicated team devoted to software development. Software that helps automate not just the design of things, software that helps us quote things, order things, process quality management systems.
The role of technology has taken a front stage position at VanAire. We have information at our fingertips and we can get it to them quickly.
We're cutting edge when it comes to valve automation. We pride ourselves on being number one, and to stay number one means you need to continuously grow.
As a registered ISO 9001 system, we are going to supply them consistent product vetted by third-party certified people.
We've always been very dedicated to our customers. Probably got us our name in the beginning. Customers' expectations, I think, have stayed pretty solid. They want it tomorrow or today. That has never changed.
There was a case a few years back when there was an emergency shutdown and our kit did not work. It was in New York State. We said, we'll get you down there today. How are you gonna do that? You guys are in Upper Peninsula, Michigan. You gonna take your canoes down here and get it for us? And I said, we'll get down there today. Was I gonna drive it down? I had no idea, but I just knew that they needed it that day. So we actually hired a pilot and he flew us down. And they had the product within 4 hours of that phone call. And everybody was amazed. This is a story that they still tell to this day about how we wowed them for our customer service. And we came through for them on that day.
No, we're not perfect. We're going to strive to be perfect, but we're going to make mistakes. But when we do, we react appropriately, swiftly, and then also learn from those. Those are learning opportunities, not failures. The evolution of our leadership, we've really evolved to be more empathetic. I think you really need to take a look at people as a whole and understand that their lives exist beyond the four walls at VanAire.
It's really cool to have 3 owners that are here on a daily basis. All 3 of them are very involved in the company.
A lot of what Dick had started it still continues today. Everything's still open door. You can talk to any of the owners. It's still a pretty open family type business.
The culture that was built here at VanAire before I even walked through the door was impressive. I remember thinking back to myself, this is how people are supposed to be treated and how customers are supposed to be treated, but I've never seen it in action until I came here.
It's pretty laid back. A lot of nice people can play my music. I like coming to work.
The thing I like most about my job is it's a new challenge every day.
I've stayed at VanAire for 25 years because of the opportunity for improvement, the value that I feel is placed on myself by management. I know my worth, and VanAire knows my worth also, which makes my job more satisfying.
I'm impressed with the leadership and how willing they are to adapt different policies that we have here. So tuition reimbursement, that's a really big one. We also have had a wellness committee, and that was before wellness was a big thing in other companies. We have a nurse that comes on site now. It's really cool to see that grow.
I think the thing that I learned the most from Dick was the culture. So we're still like very much culture driven from him that allows us to come into work, be successful and productive, and go home at the end of the day feeling like you accomplished something.
So the culture of VanAire allows for employee empowerment. It allows you to do things kind of how you want to do them and get them done. What I like about working at VanAire is that I enjoy wearing many hats. I like to be a part of a lot of different things, and this allows you to do that.
People can usually see it. More often than not, if somebody is given a tour of the shop, they come back and they're surprised that everybody out there is smiling and laughing. That's definitely part of our culture. We work hard and have a lot of fun doing it.
It's definitely the people. Product gets boring, but it's people that really, what makes a person tick, what makes them work hard, what gets them involved, why are they part of our culture. Those decisions and protecting that culture here at VanAire makes the people the most important thing.
It's about people, it is. It's how to keep people encouraged, developed, treat them fairly.
The people are the true assets of VanAire. And again, we're in Gladstone, Michigan, 5,000 people. Upper Peninsula, Michigan, who knows where that is? And we grew, and we grew, and we grew. And we are the leading experts in what we do in both valve automation and wastewater. That's cool.